channel, Black and Realty. I am Cheyenne Price, and today we will be doing a video covering different exam tips and tricks as far as the real estate exam that I just took and passed. But I figured it would be nice and useful to go over like what I did to prepare for the exam, as well as like the program that I went through for my real estate license and just all that good stuff. Interested, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and like this video and turn on your post notifications so you are notified every time I post. And I think that's about it. So let's get one disclaimer is my daughter is in the background, so you might hear some baby noise and things like that because she is very loud. But other than that, we should be okay. What program I went to and my whole like research through that, how to basically find a program that suits your needs and is the best for you, affordable, some aren't as affordable as others, and things like that. So let's get into that a little bit. Talk with me. The program that I will be focusing on in this video is Hondros College. So I went through Hondros College, and some of you might be familiar with Hondros as far as the nursing school. Hondros, the nursing school, but they also have a real estate and licensing school. Okay, so I went to the real estate school, of course, and they have 3 different packages. So we're gonna like go or get into a little bit from those packages. Okay, if you are thinking, this section of the video will be about like if you are thinking about getting your real estate license or even broker's license, whatever, and you are looking for a program to go to. I live in Ohio, so the program that I chose was Hondros because it seemed like I would get the most bang for my buck at Hondros. And when I was researching like all the reviews and stuff, a lot of people said Hondros was #1 in this area, and so I chose Hondros. So the different packages that they have, and let me see if you guys can see my screen, but these are the 3 different packages that they have. So what the package that I ended up using, it was on sale. I started this journey back in November of 2023, the very end of November. I purchased my package. It was on sale for Black Friday, and so I ended up purchasing it that same day. And I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna start now because I keep stalling. I just want to do something for me. Let me do it. There's my dog. I ended up getting was the ultimate real estate package, which is the like biggest package. But they do have a career start package, which is the least expensive. It starts at $13.49. But that's on sale. When it's not on sale, it is $14.99, not on sale. So the lowest amount that you will spend on Hondros is $14.99, and that's the career start package. That is the very first package that they offer. And then the middle package is Set for Success. It is priced at $16.99 regularly. It's on sale for $15.49 as of right now, today, March 11th, 2024 is today. So the ultimate real estate package, which is the one that I used, is normally $19.99, so about $2,000. And I think I also paid this price $18.49. I believe it was like either $17 or $18, but it's on sale right now today at $18.49. Difference between all 3 of these packages. So the main difference, which is what made me want to get the 3rd package, the most expensive one, was the fact that it comes with the Hondros alumni membership, the CompuCram exam prep, which the 2nd package actually does come with the CompuCram exam prep, and I'll get into that a little bit later as to why that's so important to me. But the second package does offer that too. But what sold me on this 3rd package was the alumni membership, the 30 hours of continuing education classes, which is the CE that you need. So no matter what, you have to pay for the continuing education after you get your license. Like, you have to pay for it, and you have to get the continued education done within 3 years. So if you don't get it done within 3 years, your license is automatically inactive until you are able to get your continuing education credits and stuff. So it comes with 30 hours of continuing education classes, as well as the required 20 hours sales post-licensing course, which is needed. Again, you have to do a continuing education class, 30 hours of that, and 20 hours of post-licensing courses. So you're already gonna have to buy it. So I figured personally, I was just like, I might as well just purchase it at the same place and just be able to, you know, boom, boom, bam, get done. So that's what I did. So you can go on the Hondros website and see what package fits your needs or what package is more affordable for you. Personally, for me, I just bit the bullet, spent the money, and I just got it all in one. So then I don't have to worry about my continued education or my post-licensing, where to find it or where to go through. But it's not the end of the world if you don't do that, because the brokerage that you sign to, some of them, it depends. You have to ask the brokerage that you want to work with. But some of them do offer continued education courses too. And some of them is for an extra price. Some of them, it comes free. So it just depends on who you're working with. I know I have that option with mine, but I had signed up for, you know, the classes before I even signed with a brokerage. So I didn't know that that was even a thing when I signed up. But I would have still did this package no matter what. It's just easier. Hondros got the third package, $18.49 for that package, which included all the like post-licensing and continued education courses as well in that. So I want to show you guys the materials that Hondros actually sent me when I signed up for this program. And my materials came within a few days after I bought my classes, my course and stuff, and signed up. The box here is what they sent me, and let's see all the goodies inside. Okay, first things first, they did send me these flashcards, and I think that if you are, hold on, let me get my daughter. Okay, I'm back. So they did give us these flashcards. So I feel like if you are a really good studier with flashcards, then this will be extremely beneficial to you. And I believe that the first package does not come with these, but the second and third package does. So this is how many flashcards you have. And like you can see, like when I was trying to study with these, I tabbed them. And I'll also like put that on my Amazon storefront, like all the real estate little things that I bought as far as what to help me study. I bought these little like packs of tabs that I could like tab things and stuff like that, just to know where I kept certain parts of my notes. But yeah, so they have this, and this is definitely helpful for your exam, because if you don't know, majority of your exam, like basically the whole exam, besides like 90% of the exam is definitions, like you knowing what certain definitions mean, you being able to understand like where those like terms apply and things like that. Like that's 90% of the exam. 10% of the exam is math. Okay, and we'll go over that too, what I use for that. But yeah, so you get one of these, a book for each section. So when you sign up for your classes and you take your courses, you're gonna have a course on principles and practices, which is this book. This is meaty book. So they're gonna send you a principles and practices book. Do you need this book to complete the principles and practices portion of your course load? No, you don't, but I think it's good to test yourself in these, because one thing about it, I thought I was about to sit there and read all these books, and when I opened it, this is what it looked like, and I kept falling asleep. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. So what I did was I would use these books and I would go all the way to the back where there are questions and things like that. I don't know if it's in this one. Let me see. Yeah, they have like different questions and stuff. And so I would go all the way to the back of the book, and I would, after I finished my course on this section, I would do the questions in the back of the book. so that I can test myself and see where I need help on, where do I need to study more at, and stuff like that. My biggest advice would be to study as you're doing your courses, which might sound kind of funny because you're like, of course, like it's kind of like you're studying. No, like actually study while you're doing your courses. I did not do that, and I feel like even though I passed the exam the first time, it's still like, I feel like I wouldn't have been so like anxious about getting the information all the way if I had started day one acting as if I was studying for the exam, if that makes sense. Study guide, so to kind of quiz yourself and such, but do you need to read the whole thing? No. As far as that one, this one is the finance. This is another section you're gonna do. This one is appraisal. That's another section. And law, another section. So you have 4 sections: practices and principles, law, finance, and appraisal. All of these books, all I used them for was the back of them to test myself. That's all I used them for, literally. That's all I used them for. Let me look at the law one. Laws are extremely important because know your state laws regarding real estate as well as national, because you're going to be taking the national and state portion. So it was really essential for me to test myself from the law book to understand, because it can get a bit confusing to understand what laws go with what and what's included in certain laws, because you never know which question is going to be on your test regarding the laws of real estate. If that's how you learn, if you learn better from reading, then you know Hondros is going to send them to you regardless, so you can use them however you want. I'm just telling you my experience. I did not have to read any of those books. All I did was use the questions in the back of the books and just skimmed certain information. Books that you do want to read. Pay attention, Linda. The books that you do want to read, they're going to send you 2 grammar books. So this is this is the national portion. So this is all the national stuff that's going to be on your exam. I said that. So the most important books to me, in my opinion, are the grammar books. Use the national one, take notes. You see I have my note tabs right here. Take notes, take the exams that's in the back of these, because they'll tell you where you need to, like what you need to work on. If you take the exams that's in these books, it will let you know like where your weak points are, what are you stronger at, and such, like things like that. So it's just like help you as far as studying in a fast way. Okay, so this is the national. And then they're gonna send you your state. So I live in Ohio, so of course I have Ohio. If you live somewhere else, then just make sure that they send you the book for your state, or find a book for your state. But yeah, they're gonna, you're gonna take a whole state portion of the exam. So make sure that you read this and mark. You see I got my tabs in there. Mark what you need to like refresh on and things like that. Math. So the math, honestly, it's only 10% of the test. The most questions that you can get on the exam is 10, and the least amount of math questions, as far as math, the most math questions that you can get is 10, and the least amount of math questions you can get on the exam is 3. So you're expect at least 3. If they hate you, you're gonna get all 10. With my exam personally, each exam is different. Some are harder than others, and with my exam, they gave me like, I think I had about 6 math questions, 5 or 6 math questions on my exam. And my exam was pretty difficult. My exam was pretty difficult because I was looking at it and I was just like, bitch, what? Like I was just like, what? But I guess I did good. So this is the sheet. You'll get this from Hondros. They have a practice math and appraisal section, and they also have downloads attached to certain links that's on there, and you'll see it how your classroom is set up. So I'm going to show you guys like my login. I can't show you guys the Hondros specific information, but I can show you guys like how my site is kind of set up, like just to give you an idea. So basically it has different links that you can see, different links that you can click on, and then it will go to like your practice exam or whatever you clicked on. So I made sure when after I finished all of my like regular coursework, I went straight into doing each and every practice exam. I took so many tests in the past 2 months studying for this exam. It was insane, but it helped me out. And I'm the type of person where like repetition is going to get me there. Like repetition is going to help me download it in my brain and be like, okay, I got this. 1, 2, 3, you know, as well as writing it down. So what I used to do, this notebook, while I was doing all of my coursework, I wrote each and every note, and it filled this whole notebook. I got every note in this notebook. Every note is in this notebook. And that's what I did while I was doing all the coursework. Then after I finished each and every course and all of that, I went on here and I started doing the real estate practice exams that they have. There is 4 different practice exams on here that you can complete. Each practice exam is literally 100 and something questions. Each practice exam is like 100 and something, or yeah, I believe it's like 100 questions or something like that. And so you need, for the exam, for the actual exam, you need to get a 70% or higher. So everything on this site is just, like, passing is a 70% or higher. And so I would make sure that I did those exams. I would make sure that I passed each and every exam, and then I would move on to the next thing. The next thing for me after I did all the practice exams was me doing the math exam. So they have a math review exam, which is honestly really good to do. I would tell everyone that purchases this program on Hondros to literally take advantage of everything that they offer, because that's what I did, and I feel like it was essential to me passing the exam. So they have a math review. You should do that. Make sure that you pass it. And then they also have a national grammar webinar. And so what that is there's 6 different live streams that you can sign up to. They have different dates for each one, so you can kind of stack it how you want. You don't have to take them in a certain order. You can take them whenever you can, and they have different dates that you can schedule them for. So it's an hour each session, and it's basically a webinar where they go over different topics. I would say try to attend all the webinars if you can. I attended 5 out of the 6 just because I missed one, I remember. So yeah, I found them actually pretty decent, and it was just an hour out of my day. So I counted that into my studying for that day, and it was very nice. It was nice. So I appreciate that for sure. At the very last, the thing before the last thing that I did, during my study journey, I would say back in, when did I do that? I did my crammer. So the crammer is like the exam that mocks the actual exam that you will take to get your license. And it's called the Real Estate Sales Review Crammer Exam. So on Hondros, they offer this. And I do mine, let me see, when did I do mine? February 16th. That's when I passed mine. I passed did mine twice. And so I did it like on the 13th, and then I did it again on the 16th, or like the week before, the 8th. I did mine on February 8th, and then I did it again on the 16th. On the 8th, on February 8th, I scored a 67 on it. And at first I was like, damn, like that's low. And then I found out later on that if you like score, because the crammer is, I guess, made to be pretty difficult. So they say like they want you to be like, by the time you take the crammer, they want you to be at least 65 and up. So that made me feel a little bit better. But I scored a 67. So then the next week I took it again and I got a 95. So I did really good on that. And then after I did the sales review crammer, I actually took advantage of their CompuCram online exam prep. So it's a whole system. I'm going to show you guys. It's a whole system, and it's really cool because I feel like this is the best way to prepare for this exam. Is their whole like CompuCram online exam prep, because it literally will tell you like if you're ready or not. So it looks like this, and this little bar tells you how ready you are. So I got up to 90 overall readiness, and it was just because they wanted me to take the simulated review test again, but I just didn't take it. I just went and took my actual exam. But I was at 90 overall readiness, which is really good. And they have all these topics that you have to go through. You have to go through each topic and take the test until you they tell you to get 100% 3 times and then you're good. But they also have a bar that will tell you like how much progress you made in each section. Each section is a section that's on the test. So the different sections on the exam are property ownership, land use controls and regulations, valuation and market analysis, financing, general principles of agency, property condition and disclosures, contracts, transfer of title, practice of real estate calculations, state governance of the real estate profession, licensing requirements, license law and rules of the Ohio Real Estate Commission, brokerage relationships, agency law, and leasing and property management. So you will go through each of those sections, and they have online flashcards on here for each section. They also have matching, and they also have fill in the blank. So you can do any of those 3 until you get it, and then you take their practice exam for each section. And you want to get your bar to 100% progress. And then after you finish all those sections and you're at 100% progress for each section, go to simulated exams at the bottom and start taking your simulated exams. Your simulated exams literally mocks the exam that you're going to take to become a real estate agent, the actual exam, because they give you 3 hours, and that's the same amount of time that you get on the real test. And the questions are worded like they are on the test in a way. So it's very nice. The whole exam, just like the real test, is all multiple choice. And you get your score right after you submit it. And so it can kind of tell you like where you're falling at. And it also has a review, like after you finish your test, it has a review there, so that you can click and you can see which questions you missed. You can star certain questions during your exam. So then when you finish your exam, you can go back to those same questions and see exactly like how they figured it out. They'll have like a little paragraph on the side saying why that answer is right or why it's wrong. Like they'll put in detail, like the details that go with it. So then if you do get a question wrong, you can review it on there and you can see, oh, okay, that's how you solve that. Oh, okay, that's what the answer was. That makes sense. So it's really good. It's really nice. And I know for me, like personally, it helped so much to be able to do these simulated exams. And I would just do one basically every day. I would do a simulated exam until I got it. And the repetition, like I said before, for me worked. And so I think that Hondros has like a really good program, and they have they actually do have a thing on here where if you don't pass your test the first time, then you get your money back guaranteed. But there's a certain timeline that you have to finish and complete things on here in order to get your money back like that. So I would say if you do sign up for Hondros, I would definitely look into like how do you get your money back if you do not pass, so then you can make sure that you're following that timeline. So if you did not pass your test the first time, you can at least get your money back, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's that. And you can find all this information on Hondros website. Like they'll tell you about that whole thing. So yeah, and then also before you take your test, like after you sign up for your test and everything, they're gonna send the Ohio Department of Commerce is going to send you the bulletin from PSI after you sign up for your actual exam. And it just lists all the details of like what to expect, like what your exam will look like, and different details about the exam. So make sure that you look into this, especially if you are the type to especially if you are the type to have a lot of anxiety for testing, I think that like preparing yourself and kind of getting the vibe of like how it feels, what it looks like and stuff like that will calm your nerves, so then it's not too many new things at once when you actually take the exam. The real estate sales review grammar exam, so the exam that you can take to kind of practice your skill. So that event, like when you sign up for it, you need to make sure that you block out your day, like you are dedicated to doing this from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. And this is why. When you sign up for that, it's going to start off being the grammar exam, okay? So you're gonna do your grammar exam from 8 a.m. and it's 8 a.m. on the dot. It starts like the file will open. You will have access at 8 a.m. And remember, you have 3 hours to do the test. So your time is starting at 8 a.m. Like the timer is going whether you click the button to open it or not. So you need to be on there. I would say be logged in by 7:55 and just sit there, have your screen there, so then when 8 a.m. comes, you click the button and it will bring up your test, okay? So from 8 to 11, because you have 3 hours, from 8 to 11, you will be taking your grammar exam when you sign up for the real estate sales review grammar exam on Hondros. And then after you finish your exam, they're going to email you your answers. These are not the correct answers. These are just the answers that you put. That's very important, because some people look at it and they'll think that those are the correct answers. No, those are your answers, the answers that you chose. So in order for you to find out what the correct answers are, you have to stay for the live stream. The live stream is from 11 until 5, and you have a trained individual. Usually, sometimes it's a broker, sometimes it's somebody else that is in the real estate field, and they are going to be hosting the live stream, and they will go over each and every question in detail and tell you what the correct answer is. So in order for you to do your own review and see what your score is, you will want to stay throughout that live stream from 11 to 5 after you've taken your 3-hour test, and you can go over each question and see what you got wrong, see how to solve it if you got it wrong, or just see if you got, how many you got right and calculate your score that way. So I did that. It was a really helpful experience, because I feel like a lot of questions that when I was doing by myself and I would be like, oh, how is that wrong? Like, I don't understand. It was good to have somebody just in detail, in full detail, go over it bit by bit with me. So that was nice. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Also, I wanted to kind of show you guys like the formulas that I personally wrote down to kind of try to memorize for the exam. What I thought was useful, the most useful at least, to remember. So all of these is not too many, but quite a bit. But there's like a lot of different types of math equations that you might have on your test. So it's good to know the formulas for the math equations. The most important to me, know how to figure out capitalization. Know how to do that, know how to find net operating income, gross income, assess valuation, know how to calculate real estate tax, know what mils mean. Basically 1 mil is 1/100th of a dollar, so 10 mils equal $10 per 1,000. So yeah, when you go through your course material and stuff, they'll break it down and they'll go over it, but these are just things that are on the test. Townships and acreage. Make sure that you know like how many acres are in a section, how many feet are in a mile, and how many square feet is in an acre. The way that I remembered the square feet in an acre was 4 people going 35 and a 60. So 43,560. So 4 people going 35 and a 60. That's how you remember that. Tip of the day. So yeah, tips or formulas and things like that, comment below or just let me know. My Instagram is at Black in Realty. So you can always DM me there if you have any further questions about that. But yeah, I wrote them down just so I can remember them. And on my exam, the math was probably, to be honest, the easiest part of my exam. To be honest, like that was the part that I felt like I did not have to worry about. Like it brought my anxiety down and everything, because it was like math is math. Math is simply either you're right or you're wrong. With these like vocab and situational questions, like sometimes you're in the middle of two questions and they both seem right. So the math to me was the easiest, but I know everyone is different and some people have a lot of anxiety when it comes to math on tests. What you can and cannot have in the testing center as well as at home, because it's different. And I didn't find out that it was different until the day of my exam, because I made sure to email the people that I needed to email, and I asked them, like, since I signed up to have my test at home, can I still have my calculator and can I have scrap paper? I was told yes. And then when I was here and I was taking my exam, the proctor that I had, because when you do it at home, it's proctored, so somebody's watching you through your webcam, right? So the proctor was like, no, you can't use your own calculator and you can't use paper. So that threw me for a loop, because I just asked a certain somebody and they told me I could. So I found out that when you're at home, you can't use your calculator. You have to use the on-screen calculator, and you can't use any paper at home. But when you go to the testing center, you can bring your own calculator and you can use your own paper at home. And if you go to the site, you are able to like go to the bathroom if you need to. When I was here, my proctor told me I couldn't go to the bathroom. I had to go so bad. And I ended up convincing her to let me go to the bathroom, because like I was like I was gonna pee myself. Like it was that bad. And I just went to the bathroom because I told her I needed my charger, which I did. My laptop was about to die, so she allowed me to go get my charger. In the midst of me getting my charger, I went to go pee real quick. And so they almost locked me out the test, but I had to go. Keep that in mind if you are thinking about taking your test at home or on site. Yeah. So if you are doing it at home, like I love being at home, that it was good and bad, because I love being at home, but that curveball sent my anxiety in a spiral. So just be prepared for anything, like be able to kind of twist and turn, because they'll 9 times out of 10 the proctor might throw a curveball at you. Simple notebook during my like coursework, and I just filled it. The other one that I showed y'all, that's the one that I have majority of my notes in. I just use like a simple notebook. And I also got these, and what these have, which is, it says all my real estate shit, which I love. I actually absolutely love. But this one is a bit different, and it just sections everything off. So this is for like organized note taking. So you have your keywords, you can date it, you can say what time, you can say what page you're continuing from, the keywords, and then you can add the note on this side. So it's really cool. I really appreciate it, like having this. I have like 3 of these, so I would recommend, if you like that type of note taking, then it is a good purchase for sure. So that's all that I have for you guys today. I just wanted to do a quick little review what I personally would suggest as far as like what you should do as far as getting a real estate license, or if you're thinking about getting a real estate license, what to expect. The program that I went through in my review, to me, Hondros helped me pass my test on the first try with all the resources that they had. And no, this is not sponsored, but Hondros, you can sponsor me though. Hondros definitely helped a lot. I feel like they gave me so much support as far as like different tools to use, different methods of studying. Like they gave me it all. They sent so much stuff. They really came through as far as like, I got my money's worth for the package that I have, and I still am able to go through Hondros and do my continued education as well as my post-licensing, which I will be starting soon. So I would say join Hondros if you can. Again, look on the website, see what packages work for you the most. I got the 3rd package, which is the ultimate package, but do whatever works for you. And yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, my Instagram is @blackandrealty. You can email me if you are looking for a house, or you want to sell a house, or you're looking for an apartment, anything dealing with real estate. You can contact me at CheyennePrice98@gmail.com. So that's SHYANNPRICE98@gmail.com. And that's where you can inquire if you need any help finding a house, or you need to sell a house, or anything as far as properties. You can contact me there or on Instagram. And make sure that you comment below and just let me know what you would like to see throughout this channel, because I'm so excited to build on this channel. I think this is going to be amazing. So that's the end of the video. I really hope that this was good and that you got a lot of information that you've been wanting. Just let me know if you need anything else, or if you also want a specific kind of video from me. And I will see you guys the next time that I post. So have a good day, and